Hi friends, Namaskaram to all of you. As you all know that we have been facing the corona for past 5 months, and to prevent the corona we have been taking many measures which might be related to the diet, maintaining the social distance, doing yoga, doing physical activities, having good food. And among all of them, we all know that to enhance the immunity, yoga is very important. And many of us throughout the world, we have been doing yoga. Like before the corona hit us, we used to go to the yoga centers, yoga studios, and we used to learn a lot of yoga there. But unfortunately, because of corona, so we are forced to do yoga at home. And at home, if you want to do the yoga, you need some teacher. So you cannot get the teacher at your home. So hence, we are doing yoga in the online. You might be practicing yoga by seeing a teacher through the online, or you might be practicing yoga by seeing in the YouTube or the Facebook or whatever it is. So I wanted to say some of the do's and don'ts of yoga, because many of us are doing yoga online. So we have to practice certain rules and regulation, or we can also say them do's and don'ts of yoga, so that if you take care of these do's and don'ts, you will be getting the good benefits, so that it would help you a lot in long run. Number one is among them is when yoga has to be done. So traditionally it has been suggested that morning yoga is good, because there are many factors. The mind will be calm, the energies will be very good in the morning, and the oxygen levels will be more in the morning, the pollution will be less, our stomach is empty. So there are many things, hence it is always suggested to do yoga early in the morning. If due to any reasons, if you are not able to do yoga in the morning, it is also suggested to do yoga in the evening. But due to many reasons, there might be any reasons. Because of that, if you are not able to do morning or evening, it can be done at any time of the day. But the only thing is that you make sure that your stomach is empty. So that is very important. Once you take food, so there should be at least a gap of 4 hours between your meal and practicing yoga. So you need to make sure that this difference is there. So with this difference, you can practice the yoga. So that is the time of the practice. Number 2, whenever you practice yoga, make sure that your dress should be very comfortable. It should not obstruct your stretches. And the third thing, many of you people will be asking, like can we take some light snacks before yoga or after yoga, or can we take coffee, tea, or maybe juices before or after yoga? So we suggest that at least before half an hour, if you want to take all these things, especially the liquids, has to be taken at least between 30 minutes to 45 minutes before the practicing yoga. And if you want to drink water or maybe some liquids or anything, it has to be done only after the 30 to 45 minutes after the yoga. That's very important. The fourth point is taking bath. Always we suggest that take bath and then go to the yoga, because once you take bath, you become very fresh, you feel very relaxed, your muscles gets relaxed, you will be more flexible. So it becomes easier to practice the yoga after taking the bath. And again, it should not be immediately after the taking bath, because when you take bath, there are many changes will be happening in your body. So take bath, maybe give some break between 20 to 30 minutes, and then you go to the practice of yoga. But due to some reasons, if you don't take a bath and do yoga, then if you want to do yoga, bath after the yoga, again, you need to maintain a gap of 30 to 45 minutes, because when you do yoga for 1.5 hours, there are many physiological changes will be happening in our body. So it has to come to the normal. So we should allow some time for those physiological activities to come to the normal. Then you can take the bath. Very important thing while practicing yoga, what is the order of the practice of yoga? Basically, the order of practice of yoga begins with the Sukshma Vayamas, where you need to loosen the joints of the body, and also you need to stretch your muscles and stretch your nerves and the ligaments. So it becomes easier to practice the other practices. Sukshma Vayamas has to be done first, and then you need to go to some more stretches, the little bit higher form of the stretches, which is called as the Surya Namaskaras, or the dynamic exercises can be done. And only after the Surya Namaskaras and the dynamic exercises you can practice the asanas, and after the practice of the asanas you can practice the pranayama. So if you practice this order, so it would be good and you will be having the more benefits. Sometimes you may not be able to do yoga for 1 hour. You want to cut short something and you want to do only either asanas or only pranayamas or meditation. If you want to do only pranayama or meditation directly, that's okay, you can do, there is no problem. But if you want to do asanas, then make sure that before you do the asanas you have to go for certain loosening exercises or the warm-up exercises or the Surya Namaskaras. Then only you should practice the asanas. Asanas are not supposed to be done directly without warming up your body, without stretching your muscles. So this care has to be taken when you practice the yoga. Another important thing, especially when you are practicing yoga online, there are certain postures which are difficult. There are certain postures which are not done properly, might bring some harm in your body. So make sure that when the yoga teacher is not there with you physically, so try not to do certain asanas, especially the asanas like headstands, the Purna Chakrasana, the shoulder stands, Halasana, which has more pressure on the neck, and most of the inverted poses has to be done when the teacher is there with you. When you do these asanas, you make sure that either you take utmost care, or you better not to do those asanas. Those asanas can be done later, when you are doing yoga with the in presence of the yoga teacher. Other thing is whenever you select a teacher, is very important. These days many people are teaching the yoga. Make sure that before you go to a online yoga class, make sure that who is teaching the yoga is the person who is teaching a yoga. He's a qualified person. Is from a good professional background. So you have to check all these things. So you might learn from anybody, but if you learn from a professional yoga teacher or a yoga therapist or a the one who is been qualified in yoga, so you will not be having harm and you will benefit a lot. And make sure that after the practice of yoga, make sure to lie down in Shavasana and relax completely. Let all the activities of your body come to the normal, and then only you should go from that place, or you can end the yoga. Another question many of the clients ask us, what about the diet? Whenever we practice the yoga, is there is a special kind of diet has to be taken? The answer for this is yoga can be done anyone who is taking any kind of diet. But considering that if you want to have a good effect, we suggest you to have a natural diet which should consist of more fruits and vegetables. If you want to have if you have some problems, health related problems, then obviously you need to follow a particular diet pattern. So that can be taken by a nutritionist, or it can be taken by your naturopath. Another question we usually get from the clients is that how much time one has to practice the yoga. Basically it is suggested to do at least 1 to 1.5 hours of yoga is very good for a good body and health. But when you begin the yoga, if you are a beginner for the yoga, it is suggested you begin the yoga practices maybe between 30 minutes to 45 minutes, because you are not used to do yoga or any kind of physical exercises. Though you might be having doing some physical exercises, but physical exercises are different and doing yoga is different, because in yoga you do a lot of bends, so you stretch your body, you flex your spine, and give different body movements. So if you do all those things all of a sudden and for long time, you might be having kind of aches for some time. So that's why it is suggested that if you are a beginner, try to practice yoga only for maybe between 30 to 45 minutes. Even that also, it has been suggested that the pace of the yoga practice should be very slower. You should not be going to Surya Namaskaras all of a sudden. You should not be going to the advanced asanas. You should not be going to the inverted poses. So it is suggested to go with very low, slow pace to begin with some loosening exercises, some simple stretches, some very beginning asanas, and some of the pranayamas. Whenever we teach yoga, many women ask whether ladies can do yoga when they have the menstruation. This is very important thing. To say whether one has to do yoga when you have menstruation or not, I say yes and I say no also. It depends upon the what kind of problem you have. There are some women where their menstruation will be normal, where they will not be having any kind of pains, they will not be having any problem at all. So in them I suggest that they can do certain exercises where it will not put much pressure on the abdomen. They can do some of the simple loosening exercises, they can do some stretches, some simple asanas, some of the pranayamas can be done by them. And there is another aspect. There are some ladies where they will be having severe pains, abdomen pain, back pain, and they will be very uncomfortable during the menstruation. So for them we suggest that in fact they should do yoga. Especially in the yoga, we suggest them to do certain pranayamas and meditation. In fact, doing yoga, especially the pranayamas and meditation in those conditions, will help them to relieve their pain and also help them to relieve their irritation during the menstrual problem. I hope you all will take care about these points and practice yoga. All of you stay healthy and happy. If you have not still subscribed our YouTube channel, Maitri Yoga and Nature Cure Center, so kindly subscribe our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell button. Thank you so much. Namaste to all of you.